for joining us today on HxGN TV. I'm your host, Monica Miller-Rogers. In airborne operations, faster delivery of error-free data has become a business-critical need. With HxMap, the high-performance multi-sensor workflow platform, this data is being produced and delivered faster than ever. Here to discuss this innovative software further is Balai Bashaw, Leica Geosystems Vice President of Software Development for the Geospatial Solutions Division and Content Engineering Services, and Dr. Simon Museos of Calvi, Senior Vice President of Mapping. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here with us today.
Thank you, Monica.
Good to be with you, Monica.
Balai, let's start with you. So could you tell us more about this HxMap software?
HexMap is our innovative solutions that is developed from the ground up to be our main driver for all the workflow for Leica sensors. So what this means is we have designed the software so that it could run from a laptop all the way to hundreds of nodes on your cluster, so that you could check your data on the field and you could deliver products in the office at a much faster rate. So why is this HexMap a really good proposition for our customers is that it is one workflow, the same workflow for all sensors, and it also provides open interfaces so that people could hook up their workflow to HexMap so that they could continue on their work downstream. And we have given them a very good upgrade path from their old workflow to the new one so that they could continue innovating, creating multiple products using the same known workflow that they understand. And of course, as always, as Leica, accuracy is important to us, and we have many tools and procedures to validate the assumptions that we make, and the sensors are working as expected.
And open interface is absolutely critical in airborne operations. Now, you just came out with version 2.2 of HexMap. Can you tell us about some of the updates?
HxMap 2.2 is a very huge upgrade for us, because what happened to us was when we started HxMap, we developed it for our imaging sensors. This is the real city solutions from Leica, whereby we take our big scanner cameras like the DMC or the RCD or the ADS, and you could process data. With HxMap 2.2, we added the whole suite of LiDAR processing into the HxMap platform. So now we have added SPL100, which is our next innovative solution that generates a huge amount of data at 6 million points per second. It's a huge amount of data. So we would be able to use the same cluster to process all the imaging, and also if you are a partner with the HxCP, you would be able to use all your LiDAR sensors on the same workflow. So for us, 2.2 is really a milestone that has taken both the imaging and the LiDAR into one platform so that you could process the data the same way.
Absolutely valuable to those operators, such as yourself, Simon. So now with Calvi, you are in some of the largest airborne operation projects in Europe. Can you tell us about some of the projects you're actually working on right now?
Sure. We are presently at Calvi operating, well, the largest in Europe, which is the Hexagon imagery program, and only on this program we are flying various DMC3 cameras and ADS 100 sensors. And in this program, the utilization of HexMap is at the core of our processing chain. We can clearly state that with traditional softwares, we would not be able to deliver this amount of data in such short time. Especially with the frame cameras, which we use more in Europe than we would use in other areas of the world, the processing speed has considerably improved. Now, we are also flying in Denmark presently a program with the Penta-Oblique system, and also here we notice a quantum leap in processing speed. So important for us is that in all projects which we fly in the future with Leica sensors, well, especially the DMC3, and we're looking very much forward also to the integration of the SPL100, of course, we will be able to have here a competitive advantage.
Simon, Covey is a well-known user of Leica Geosystems airborne sensors. You're also a user of the HxMap software, and I've actually had you on the show before. We've talked about your use of the sensors, but I really want to get a perspective from you about this HxMap software. Can you tell us about how you use that and what your thoughts are on that?
Yeah, Monica, as I said before, in all our projects we are now consecutively implementing HxMap as the core processing unit. And as we are putting our trust more and more into Leica sensors, we're flying DMC3, we're flying ADS, we're flying ALS80, we're flying Penta, and now hopefully in the future the SPL 100, we cannot afford to use traditional software packages as we did in the past. And we can see that this HxMap, use of the HxMap software, apart from the speed that I mentioned before, so is also the present speed is also allowing us to scale up. As Bella mentioned it, we can start with a relatively small cluster and then in the future simply add up and get the benefits. And this is also how we're using it today. We're just adding for additional sensors. And another point which I would like to add is not only the speed, it is also the convenience and time saving in the training of operators. Today, our processing team doesn't have to get used to a multitude of different software packages and interfaces especially. We are saving time and well, also the nerves of our operators by simply keeping them inside one software environment.
Could absolutely see the value of that. So gentlemen, let me open this up to both of you. Where do you see HxMap taking the airborne industry in the future?
I think for us is, as Simon said, is one of the things that we're doing right now is being able to marry the LiDAR and the imagery together and process it as one data set. For example, the new CD Mapper sensor that we came out with came only with the HxMap software, because you need to be able, our future is the combined sensors, to take imagery and LiDAR and process them at the same time, taking advantage of this multitude of data fused together. And that is the fusion of the data is the most important thing that we do.
This is in developed environments, and I couldn't agree more. Now, we at Covey, we operate also in areas that are not well connected to the internet. We're sometimes working in African countries, we work in Asian countries, far away from a good infrastructure. And what we can see already is that with even a relatively small cluster, we could locally process a very large amount of data without the need of transferring it through an internet connection to a central service cluster, so which we also have done before. So there are a couple of added benefits. So far I believe that HxMap has very much the characteristics of the transferring this, well, fantastic technology, digital technology also in areas of the world which are today not perfectly connected.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for these insights. HxMap definitely has a lot of benefits for users today and even more potential in the future. Thank you for being on today with us.
Thank you, Monica, for the opportunity.
Thank you.
For more information about Leica Geosystems airborne sensors and software, please visit leica-geosystems.com. For more information about Covey, please visit cowi.com. And to watch more episodes of HxGN TV, log on to hxgntv.com. Thank you for watching.